If you're up for a good laugh, be sure to check out my comics on Instagram at JMan's Comic Book Adventures. Alright lads and ladettes, London Lad Lost in Asia, and today I'm going to be making a video on Project Thailand. I'm going to explain what Project Thailand is, what my background is, and what I want to accomplish by doing this project. First off, Project Thailand is me living and working in Thailand for 6 months purely off of whatever I make from art and the initial savings that I gather up to go to Thailand. And I'm gonna live and work as an artist, and I'm gonna actually give you figures on how much I spent while I was in Thailand and figures on how much I made during the month, as a sort of way of showing that for many artists, the opportunity of living and working in a place that's cheaper than their initial cost of living or the typical cost of living in their country may be advantageous because it provides them with the time to execute on projects that they want to execute on. And that's what Project Thailand is. It's just like, I've seen it before, like most of Thai vloggers or Thailand vloggers talk about how Thailand is a land of opportunity because of its cost of living, and for what you're getting for the cost of living is really, really good, and you can live a comfortable lifestyle on $1,000 per month. Now, if you do the calculation on that, if you had $6,000, right, if you saved up that amount, you could have 6 months in Thailand. Obviously, you would have to save up probably another $1,000 for a visa, $500 to $1,000, I don't know, for a visa. Obviously, for the plane tickets, could be another foul. But reasonably, like I would say, if you had $8,000 to $8,500 saved up, you could go to Thailand for 6 months and live pretty comfortably. And in that time, you could dedicate all of that time to really, really pushing forward your any sort of creative pursuit you want. Maybe you want to study your fundamentals more. Maybe you want to create a project more. And like, yeah, for some people, it might be more beneficial for them to stay at home and with their parents. That's also an option too that I want to talk about on my channel as well. It's like staying at home with your parents for a while. For some people, they might not have been in a situation where they can do that, and like setting aside enough money to go to Thailand might be the best method for them. So I want to kind of hit this on both angles, and Project Thailand is me doing that, where I am going to spend a decent amount of time in Thailand, and I'm going to show you what I was able to produce and work on in that time, as a way to, because some people are really stuck in this sort of situation where they're working a job like me. I was working for 2 years in a kindergarten, and I kind of grew to hate the job because it was really demanding all the time, and it was doing stuff that wasn't even teaching anymore. Like, a lot of my job wasn't even teaching at a certain point, and dealing with headaches and things that were outside of teaching, and that was impeding on my free time and then outside of work as well. And that made it hard for me to create. And I know a lot of people might be in a similar situation to me, because for me, to explain my story a bit, I studied animation at the University of the Arts London, and that course didn't really equip me enough. It's partly my fault as well, but I think it's partly on the course as well, because we pay quite a lot in the UK to study. I'm an artist, and I paid £9,000 for tuition, whereas my sister, she studied law, and my other sister studied medicine. They paid $3,000 because of the rising tuition fees, which is absolutely preposterous how a doctor and a lawyer paid a third of what someone who's studying art did. But that's another story for another day. A lot of people are in a similar situation to where maybe they studied art at uni and it didn't pan out well, and they got into sort of a trap to where they're working jobs that they don't want to work to make ends meet, and they don't have a leeway or a set amount of time to actually produce something to get them out of that situation. And Thailand could be an opportunity for them to like do that. I want to sort of show like how that experience would be for a creative. So for me, yeah, after uni, I came to China. Admittedly, in the first year I was in China, I was a bit lost, and I did spend a lot of time partying and drinking. I didn't do much productive things. But then there'll be periods of times where I would want to, like I tried like at least 3 or 4 times to start a YouTube animation channel, and it just failed each and every single time. And part of it was because of my bad habits, admittedly, which were kind of work related. If I would have a bad day at work, I would drink. And honestly, I do genuinely think if you are in this boat of like not making money from your art career and you are drinking, just stop. I've stopped drinking for the last couple of months, and my productivity has gone through the roof in terms of consistency. I'm actually doing stuff every day instead of missing the days because I'm not hungover half the time. Part of it was due to that, but part of it was due to just how intensive my work was. Like, especially, you wouldn't believe, like at a kindergarten, like especially at the end of term when you have all of these portfolios, it would get so bad to where I'd only have a 20-minute lunch break, and the rest of the time I'm doing all of this admin and folder work that I don't really want to do, and that just made me annoyed and bitter, and then it was harder to, create. So I don't know. I know some people may be in a similar situation to me, to where they are really, really creative and they want to make a living off of their creativity, and there are certain principles and steps that they can follow. And part of this Project Thailand thing is actually the money thing I've talked about, like in other videos. It's like saving your money and not being in a consumerist mindset, because I think a big part of what's going to make you successful as an independent / freelance artist is knowing how to manage your money properly. If you know how to manage your money properly, that could be the big difference between you having to go to another job and doing something that makes you miserable, or you having more time to level up your art so you can pay the bills with your art. Because you have to think about each purchase that you make. That purchase isn't an amount of money, it's 100 hours at a job that you don't like. It's 200 hours at a job you don't like. It's 50 hours of your boss screaming at you, So you have to think about it like that. So that's really what Project Thailand is. I'm gonna literally just document my whole journey as a creative artist, making a living off of my art, and how that process goes when I'm in a place where it's way more affordable. Because again, I said like it costs like £1,000, no, not even £1,000, $1,000 to live comfortably in Thailand. If hypothetically I'm making double that by the end, then I can comfortably live in Thailand and honestly get a buy in the UK. £2,000 a month in the UK is, you can get by, because that's the average people get. And especially if you have less bad habits like drinking and stuff like that, you're spending a lot less money on other things as well. Like you're spending a lot less money on things to recover from, how bad you feel at work. So it's just, again, it's one of those things, I just want to document that journey and see where it goes and showcase it to you guys, so that maybe if you are feeling like, how do I get out of this situation? You can look to my videos and see all of the struggles and tribulations and trials that I had to go through, and it might help you with that next step forward in your mindset, your belief systems, your creative process, your money management, your skill acquisition. It might help you with that next stage to being able to accomplish what you want with your artistic career. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help artists. I'm also here to entertain people with my art. I want to do both of those things. That's what I've chosen to do as my purpose. Wow, that was a good introduction video, if I do say so myself. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and like. I think that's the first time I've said that with any of the videos I've created. But I feel as though this is a real sort of monumental video, because it's going to be the start of something that could drastically change my life and many other people's lives as well. So yeah, this has been London Lad Lost in Asia, and I really don't know how to end this video.